Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk Sports live stream watch along of the Derby d'Italia of Inter Milan hosting Juventus at the scintillating San Siro Stadium. While the game kicks off in about just exactly 3 minutes' time, and we will have the match underway very shortly. So, before, of course, we go through the kickoff, let me just tell you who is starting and who will be on the bench for this classic game expected tonight. Now, of course, both teams have a point between them at the top of the table. Inter at the top of the tree, Juventus on a branch just below them, hoping to try and jump above them tonight by getting some sort of win at the San Siro, while Inter Milan, of course, are unbeaten. Well, they've only had one defeat, same as Juventus. So, of course, both teams having great seasons, but who will get the bragging rights tonight in the Derby d'Italia? Well, anyway, I'll quickly go through the lineup. So there has been 4 changes from Inter Milan. Karl Haneglu has come back from suspension, so he'll start in the midfield, and that is the same for Nicolo Barella, while Kirby and DeMarco, who started on the bench together against Fiorentina last weekend, will be in the starting lineup today. So that is Kirby and DeMarco also in the starting lineup for Inter Milan. And for Juventus, there has been 3 changes for them. Milik has been suspended after he got a straight red card in the home game against Empoli. Danilo has now, he's in the starting lineup. He has come back from the bench after he was on the bench against Empoli last weekend. And Yildiz as well will start up front with Dusan Vlahovic. So, looking at the formations, it looks as though both teams, under the management of Inzaghi and Allegri, it looks as though they're both going for similar formations of 3-5-2. So for Inter Milan, it's Jan Sommer in goal, 3 in defence from left to right. It's Bastoni, Kirby, and number 28, Benjamin Pavard. A 5-man midfield from left to right, DeMarco, Henrik Mkhitaryan, Karl Haneglu, Barella, and Matteo Darmian. And then 2 up front from left to right is Lautaro Martinez, top scorer in the league this season, with Marcus Thuram on the right. So for Juventus as well, we've got Wojciech Szczesny in goal, 3 in defence from right to left, Gatti, Bremer, and Danilo. And with the 4 in midfield from right to left, Cambiasso, McKennie, Locatelli, Rabiot, and Kostic, and just the 2 up front of Yildiz and Vlahovic. So Vlahovic versus Martinez, you could say tonight, the 2 top goal scorers in the league so far this season. And we're just getting ready for the game to kick off here, folks, at the San Siro. What an atmosphere this could be. Do get in touch on the live stream. We'll love to hear from you when we get the chance. Well, we're about to get underway then. So Juventus will be kicking off the game. They're going to be attacking from right to left against a home crowd of Inter Milan. It's a big challenge for them, and the game has begun. Let me start the match clock while I remember. So as mentioned, Inter Milan attacking from right to left. From left to right, Inter Milan in their blue and black traditional home strip with black shorts, black socks. Juve, the most successful team in Italian football. They'll be in their usual white and black strip with white shorts and white socks. So at the moment, the ball is in the Inter Milan half. The hosts holding the possession at the moment. I just remembered to put the desktop audio on. There we go. So anyway, already a cross in and into the 6-yard box. I think they were looking for Mkhitaryan. He applauds his teammate for the delivery. It was a dangerous one. Juventus have dealt with it at the end there. It was a long ball out to the right wing of Marcus Thuram. He went for the cross first time, He didn't look at first, but it was a great cross. And because of that, the block, which looked to have been from Bremer, it's going to be a corner kick. Already our first corner of the game. And we've only reached 1 minute here. And the corner comes in for Inter Milan. Headed away on the edge of the 6-yard box, now onto the edge of the 18-yard box. And it's come back out just near the centre circle as Inter Milan have the possession still. As they try and build up again. There's 3 of them in the box getting ready for this cross in. It comes in, but only for the ball to come back out again. This time it's on the far right-hand side. It's with Calhanoglu to Danilo. And he'll go on the run now with McKennie, the USA international, surrounded by a couple of Inter players, and instead he'll just play it back into the Juventus half. But yes, 2 teams, pretty much a 2-horse title race in the Scudetto this season. AC Milan are watching in the background. They're about 5 points behind Inter Milan. Let's not forget as well, Inter Milan have a game in hand over Juve. So even though they're a point ahead of Juventus, a win tonight for Inter will of course give them a massive advantage to go 4 points clear with a game in hand. Anyway, we've got Inter Milan now gone the attack. They've intercepted in their own half and now out to the left-hand side. Really quick football already from the team in black and blue. The cross was pretty poor though by Marcus Thuram. And it looks as though Darmian was trying to just keep the attack momentum going, and instead it'll be a goal kick for Juventus. Inzaghi giving out instructions from the dugout, applauding his players, but also just reminding them that it's a long match ahead. Allegri looking very smart tonight in his navy suit, just drinking some water, while Sejdi takes the goal kick, boots it out onto the left-hand side and doesn't find anyone in black and white, and it's gone out for a throw for Inter Milan. Inter Milan now with the back 2 just passing between each other at the moment. Then they push the ball a few yards towards the centre circle, now out onto the right-hand side as they switch sides. Matteo Darmian, former Manchester United defender, his old club won 3-0 today at Old Trafford against West Ham United. Now onto the halfway line, back with Darmian, the man we just mentioned. Just needing support there from Barea. And at the moment, you've got every Juve player in their own half. Inter Milan holding the possession quite nicely in the first 4 minutes here. Probably expected with them being the home team, having that advantage here at the San Siro. Here they come again, Inter Milan. Well, they tried to get the cross in. It got blocked from Mkhitaryan's delivery, and it was blocked by Danilo. And it'll be a second corner kick for the hosts. It'll be on the far side. It was actually Weston McKennie that blocked the delivery. Good defending by the US international. But yeah, Mkhitaryan, he's having quite the season. He's got 2 goals already. Oh, and then the corner's come in. It's only to be headed away. He's got the second most assists this season. Britain, and there's a shot that will go just behind the net there. It took a deflection, I think. Yes, it did. And it was Mkhitaryan again. He's been a busy boy in this first 5 minutes. And they'll have another corner. Inter Milan are knocking on the door so early on, showing us why they are top of the league. And this is a team as well that have only conceded 10 times. So if Juve were going to score tonight, it would feel like a rare occasion of seeing Jan Sommer getting beaten. So corner to come. This is already the 3rd corner for Inter Milan. And it's swung in straight. Oh, it's not great. It's not found anyone in black and blue in that penalty area. And the ball goes all the way to Allegri on the sidelines and flicks it to his opponent of Barea. Barea with the throw-in. Only to throw it back into the Inter half. Yet again, every Juve player on the back foot, having to keep an eye on Inter Milan's possession. And at the moment it's in the centre circle with a Kirby back in the squad today. A couple of suspensions served from some of the Inter players of Karl Haneglu, who's been a massive impact for them this season, and of course Barea. Meanwhile, as Juve are trying to chase the ball down, it's just not happening for them at the moment. They need to get settled here. Jan Sommer getting the pass back from Mkhitaryan. Mkhitaryan, as I said, has been a busy boy already in this game. Back to Jan Sommer in his, you could say, sunny delight kit. You can't miss his kit from there. And all of a sudden the game has been paused. The referee is having to run back into the Inter half. And there might have been a foul or some sort of pushing and shoving, or maybe a collision. It involves Benjamin Pavard of Inter, and it looks as though Dusan Vlahovic is being told off by the referee here, and he from his body language he goes, "Who, me? It can't be right." Well, he actually was late. Pavard was trying to boot the ball down long, and after he kicked it away, Vlahovic stuck his right leg out, caught him, and the French international went down to the ground while the Serbian questions the referee as to how that wasn't a foul, but it was pretty obvious. But no yellow card there from our referee. Referee today is Fabio Maresca, and he knows that this is a big occasion. This is a game with a lot at stake, a title in the bag. Maybe if Inter won this game tonight, you could say with at least one hand on the trophy. Juventus, though, if they are to win tonight, they will go top by 2 points. But you feel as though, even though this is the beginning of February, there's still a lot of football to come in the Serie A title race. And Barea, who switched sides, it looks like he's playing on the left-hand side, couldn't keep the long ball in near the corner line, and it's a goal kick for Juventus. Joe says, sorry about Bajoy. Don't worry about that, Joe. I blame his mum. No, I'm only joking. Anyway, back with the game. Juventus. Adrien Rabiot, he gets pushed to the ground. The home crowd enjoyed that though, in a Kirby. Well, it looks like he won't get... Well, no, the referee won't pause whatsoever there. Ends up being a straight goal kick, and Inter crack on with it with Jan Sommer, a short 1-2. A Kirby. Now Bastoni. Only for it to be a short forward pass. Juventus, though, I know it's only 9 minutes in, but they are definitely the second best here. Not really had much possession, or even really had the ball or been able to make any passes, that is for sure. So they've struggled so far. They've got the players to get the goals, though. Dusan Vlahovic, who we mentioned, he is their top goal scorer. He's having a fantastic season for the old lady. And he is becoming a player that is probably going to get linked to a few European clubs this summer. Well, it's going to be a throw-in again for Inter Milan. As you'd expect, some of the legends of Italian football, whether they're Italian or are from abroad, that have played in Serie A in the past, are up in the stands tonight, including Zanetti, who has made over 800 appearances for Inter Milan. Quite incredible, what a career he had. So throw-in for Juventus in their own half as we reach 10 minutes, and the referee is telling McKennie to take quite a few steps back. He's saying to him, that's not where the throw-in was, mate. You better take that again, and he does. It's a very long throw into the Inter half, only to just find a player in black and blue. Inter Milan very comfortable so far in terms of being able to control the game, hold the ball. They don't feel threatened yet by their visitors. Yeah, the Derby d'Italia, as they call it, this between Inter Milan and Juventus. Very first game being back on the 14th of November 1909. And here they come now, Inter Milan. So many games have been played between them. It's now Darmian Then a cross comes in, only to be headed away. Juventus just doing anything to get it out of their box for now, and a shot is blocked by, looked like, Karl Haneglu. And then it's flicked back into the edge of the area, and only to be cleared away by Danilo at the end. And Juve, well, Allegri will be hoping that they could just get something going, but as we say that, McKennie goes for the run, gets pulled down by his opponent, and it was DeMarco with the foul. It was a late one, and McKennie, a man who likes yellow cards and fouls himself, he's got 6 yellows this season. Remember him at Leeds United being a bit of a dirty player, you could say, in terms of fouls. Certainly like to get his hands dirty, whoever he plays for, whether that's Leeds United, Juventus or USA. If you have just joined us, welcome to our live stream watch along of Inter Milan versus Juventus in Serie for your Sunday night football fix. Do get in touch on the live chat page. We'll try and read out your messages when we see them. And if you haven't yet, do like the stream, and also click that subscribe button if you want to see more of our content. So at the moment it's going to be a throw-in for Juve in their own half, midway at their own half. Again, throw-in ends up just to be easily intercepted. A long ball looking for Marcus Thuram. His height just wasn't tall enough to pick up the long ball, and it was Wojciech Szczęsny that picks it up with his hands. Now to play it out onto the left of Kostic. Trying to approach the left-hand side, you could say. Now with Barea onto Rabiot. Rabiot instead plays it back to Danilo. Now it's with Kostic. And they've said they're going to switch sides and play it out towards Gatti. 3-man defence from both sides. If you can see the pitch, you'll see that it's a 3-man line at the moment from Juve. Marcus Thuram trying to put pressure on the defenders, only for it to switch sides again onto the left this time. Kostic through to Rabiot. Rabiot cross is blocked by Benjamin Pavard. 2 French internationals going up against each other tonight here at the San Siro. And instead Inter have got it ball back. It's now with Bastoni. Bastoni with the number 95, which you'd never see in English football. That's the one thing you always get with Serie A, high numbers. You just wonder one day, maybe, just maybe, if the depth of squads ever get bigger, we might even go up to 100 or even more than that and go over that mark. Meanwhile, Inter now on the left wing. 3 of them in the box waiting for a delivery or something to happen. 3 of them on the left wing as well. Bastoni. Again, now on to DeMarco. DeMarco with the cross. Headed away by Bremer. Then the ball's gone back in. And Szczęsny will avoid that from going for a goal kick and keep it in play with both his hands. So we've just reached the quarter-hour mark. Yeah, Inter Milan have actually lost once this season already at home. But that's it. They've been able to win 8, draw 1, score 25 goals, and only conceded 6. 10 goals conceded overall by Inter in the league, 4 of them away from home. But they've been able to get, 25 points out of a possible 30. So it just shows how difficult this challenge is for Juve tonight. The brief history will tell you that Juve have done all right here, but this is a big game tonight, different occasion. And here they come now into Milan, and it was a shot blocked. Barea tried to go for goal. It was blocked even before it reached the 6-yard box. And now it's back into the Inter Milan half. Last man back for them at the moment of Bastoni. Now with DeMarco. A Kirby. Plays it out to his right of Pavard, right in front of Inzaghi in the dugout. Pavard just slowing the pace down for now. Then he plays it out forward to Darmian. Darmian, good link-up play. Darmian tried to make the pass back again, only for himself to win a throw-in. Takes a quick throw-in. And instead, Juve will intercept to try and go on the counter here. Oh, and there's a pullback. And the referee has stopped Juve's potential attack with Vlahovic, because it looks as though Vlahovic pulled down Mkhitaryan. And he is a big player, Vlahovic. You don't mess with him. The free kick has been taken, but Juve are instead trying to go for the attack. DeMarco intercepts nicely, though, on the halfway line. It's now with Barea. Barea, which I've never understood the whole wearing a short sleeve shirt and then gloves. I've never understood that. I remember the days of Patrice Evra doing that in a Man United shirt. Still do not know how that works, because if you're cold, surely you want to wear firm or long sleeves as well. Inter Milan looking the better side so far in this Scudetto title chance, and it's just hit the side netting. And it was DeMarco. It was a superb cross. He was completely unmarked. He was on the back post, went with his left foot, and it hit the side netting. Szczęsny looks as though he had it covered. I think if it was to go on target, I think Szczęsny would have saved it, but that doesn't matter. Martinez applauds. I think it was Darmian with the cross, I'm not so sure. But the goal kick's taken. And they've won a free kick here, Juve, I think. Actually, no, I say that. It's actually a yellow card against Vlahovic. That's the first booking of the game. It only took 18 minutes to see that yellow card come out of the referee's pocket. And it looked as though he was pulling his opponent's shirt off a Kirby, but the Kirby was doing it as well at the beginning, and then maybe the referee didn't see that. I think maybe the referee could have carried on and been fair and just given it a 50-50 challenge, but Inter Milan, it goes in their way. It goes in their favour, that is. Now with Barea again. Karl Haneglu, who is going to be 30 on Thursday. Former AC Milan player as well, and Bayer Leverkusen. Of course, Bayer Leverkusen at the moment, top of the Bundesliga, undefeated under Xabi Alonso. The Bundesliga and Serie A right now, you could say, are very, very exciting in terms of title race. Anyway, here's a long ball in, trying to find DeMarco again, who tries to run in behind, but the ball didn't get to him because it was well defended. And it goes out for a throw-in on the near side for Matteo Darmian to take on the roll. About 8 yards away from the corner flag. No players near him for either side. He's going to go for a long one here. It's a big run up. And into the 18-yard box it goes. Now DeMarco again, and it's blocked. Actually, it was Lautaro Martinez there. And has he won them a corner? It looked like it took a deflection. Again, similar areas where DeMarco was before with the volley. Went for the back post. 20 minutes in, Inter Milan 0, Juventus 0. In a very important game in the Scudetto title race. So corner to come from DeMarco. Swung in, header from Karl Haneglu, only to be picked up by Szczęsny. And straight away rolls it out to the left of Kostic. Kostic felt the pressure of Barea. Now here's Barea. Instead, Danilo will head it out for a throw-in on the near side. Barea will leave it for Matteo Darmian. Of course, you do have the live video printer on the screen as well, folks, for other matches to keep you up to date with the latest scores. Oh, and I'm not sure if that was a volley or a header. I couldn't quite tell. It happened so fast. But Juve out of it for now. They're still having to defend here. Kirby onto the left-hand side of DeMarco. Kirby again, looking for options. And he plays it out far right to Darmian. Darmian with the cross and just couldn't pick out Marcus Thuram. One of the Juve players has gone down, but there's another cross coming in. Darmian, he's got some space. Brings it in low. Couldn't pick out DeMarco. Lucatelli with a fantastic interception at the most important time. And now here come Juve, who look like they're going to be relying on the counter-attacking football tonight. It's on the right-hand side of McKennie. Only one of his teammates in the box of Vlahovic. Tried to pick out Vlahovic, but it was headed away. The ball went away from his direction. But it just shows Inter may be on the front line mostly in this game, but if they aren't prepared, if they lose the ball, Juve could go on the counter. It's a classic tactic, but teams away from home do like it, and it can work. Martinez has just been fouled, and he's currently on the ground. He's got his arm to his on his groin there. Actually, it looks as though, I wonder if that's a serious injury, because it was Rabiot who went into him. Maybe that was Rabiot getting revenge on Lautaro Martinez after losing to him in a FIFA World Cup final over 18 months ago. What a final that was between Argentina and France. Rabiot had a great World Cup. I'd say even since that World Cup, Rabiot has been playing very well in a Juventus shirt. Meanwhile, it's Inter Milan again, midway point of the Juve half. Still goalless, but they are really trying to get something going to get this first goal. And there's a foul there against Rabiot from Barea. He tried to tackle him from behind and tried to go for the ball, but the ball had left Rabiot's right foot, and because of that, Barea tripped him up. But yeah, Rabiot, there has been rumours coming out in the last day or so that he is linked with Inter Milan, which is a shock rumour, but you don't normally talk about Inter and Juve players transferring from one another. Of course, there is Juan Cuadrado, who is now part of the Inter Milan squad, but he is injured, so he's not even on the bench tonight, and he didn't come directly from Juve. So Inter Milan intercept again in their own half. 24 minutes gone. They're trying to look for a big run up from DeMarco. It's a great run and should pick up Marcus Thuram. Oh, and it just couldn't connect with his feet. He was on the edge of the 6-yard box. It was a perfect cross, but maybe Thuram was just a bit too quick there. And because of that, the ball went behind him. Szczęsny went down to the ground. There was a Juve defender there, Bremer I think it was, who'd stopped it and then kicked it away. But that was the closest moment Inter have gone from scoring. And now it's on the opposite side with Kostic to Rabiot. Now Danilo boots it out to the far right, far and wide to McKennie. Juve finally getting some passing together now. We haven't seen these string of passes yet. This, of course, just helps them just become a bit more aware of where they all are on the pitch. They just haven't had any chemistry going on yet. Here's Bremer. Now to Gatti. On to McKennie. McKennie seeing the opposite now of all the Inter players at the back, trying to defend their box and their goal. And instead, Marcus Thuram doing superbly well there, putting pressure on Bremer for him to play it all the way back to Wojciech Szczęsny. Yeah, but Marcus Thuram, another player, what a transfer he's been for Inter Milan from Borussia Mönchengladbach. 8 goals already this season in 21 games. Third top scorer at the club this season. Free transfer as well. So you can't go wrong there. Now Darmian, surrounded by black and white shirts, couldn't keep that possession as Juve get it back just inside the Inter Milan half on the left-hand side. It is at the moment. Completely slowing the ball pace down at the moment. Juve. Instead, they don't try and push it forward. They just play it all the way back to Szczęsny as Thuram and Martinez try and go for the runs again. Juve now on the near side, and they've won themselves a throw-in. Thrown all the way back to the halfway line, right in front of Inzaghi in his dugout. Inzaghi's been with Inter Milan since 2021. He was 5 years at Lazio as the manager there. He was also a player, of course, there for Lazio over 20 years ago. And he was Serie A Coach of the Month in January, which is hard to believe. He hadn't won any since October 2022. And referee has penalised Barea, and Juve will have a free kick just inside the Inter half. But yeah, he was pulling back on, I think it was on Kostic. And I'm just watching the replay again of DeMarco with a great cross to Thuram, but Thuram just couldn't get the connection at the end, and if he had, I think it could have been 1-0 to the hosts, the league leaders. Meanwhile, Juve trying to go on the attack, but they couldn't do so on that right-hand side, and Inter will try and go on a counter here. It's on the left-hand side with DeMarco. Can he do another great cross? And he does. Martinez falls to the ground and he gets himself back up. Is there a penalty? No, the referee instead has pointed the opposite way and has given Juventus a free kick, unless it was offside. But the cross yet again was perfect. Martinez chests the ball down, but watching the slow-mo replay, it might have hit his arm when the ball was coming down on him. But Danilo could have, yeah, it does hit his left arm, his upper arm, falls to the ground with Kostic behind him. That, I thought for a moment, could have been a penalty when hearing that referee's whistle. But no, Juve for now are doing okay. They're about 29 minutes in, all square. And just like previous encounters of Inter and Juve, you feel as though that this will be a low-scoring affair. You could just tell that this is going to be a tight one. The reverse fixture earlier this season was a 1-1 draw in Turin. The goals coming from Juve's Vlahovic and Inter's Lautaro Martinez, which is quite fitting when you know that both of them are the top goal scorers in Serie A so far this season. Ball inside the Inter half, Juve in possession. It's on the halfway line. Now out onto the right of Gatti. Cambiasso now. Oh, and then instead Juve having to kick it all the way back to Szczęsny. Szczęsny have to be careful. That's a poor first touch, and Thuram nearly got there. Could have taken the ball off his feet. Scary moment from the Polish goalkeeper. Instead, it's with Inter Milan in their back line. And it is full time between Cercle Bruges and St Trudens. 4-1 it ended there. But yeah, that's the live video printer, which is on your screen. It'll keep you up to date on any goals happening across Europe or around the world. Half an hour gone. Inter Milan 0, Juventus 0 in this fight for the Scudetto. Bastoni with the ball. He picked out DeMarco. DeMarco only plays it back to him. Now a run in play. Tried to go for an overflow, but couldn't see the vision and see the pass that they wanted to do. And now here comes McKennie, and he does well, and there's two Inter players left. He might just go all the way. Vlahovic in the box, and his first touch wasn't great as he won a corner though. He does put his hands to his face as he lies on his chest on the ground. McKennie does brilliantly here with the run, picks out an unmarked Vlahovic, but then at the end it was good defending by Pavard by closing him down just outside the 6-yard box. Vlahovic knows that that first touch was not his best. He has won a corner here for Juve. Well, there's two Juve players behind the corner. Kostic with the swinging cross. No one picked up. And now here come Inter. Go on the counter. Marcus Thuram gets tripped on the way, and there's no doubt in my mind. Danilo gets the yellow card, and he'll miss the next game. Captain normally would try and lead it by example, but he was well beaten in pace there by Thuram. Oh, actually, I say that, watching back on the replay, it looked like Thuram might have actually caused a dive there, and I think that's why Danilo was protesting at the referee's decision. So if that was the case, he'll feel hard done by. Just looking at the last 5 league games of Martinez and Vlahovic, they both have 6 goals each. Will one of them get a goal tonight? We've not seen much from Martinez yet. Still plenty of time to go though. It's been an interesting first half. It's been quite physical for both teams. Not many chances created. But whenever there's a game like this, sometimes you wouldn't be surprised if a draw came out of this, just because of how much is at stake. Some of you are going on about the rocking chair. I can't help it. It's the excitement of the Italian football tonight, folks. It's a bit squeaky, so I do apologise if you can hear that. Jan Sommer now. Through to Brea. Don't know why Brea wears those gloves. How can you be that cold? Here's Marcus Thuram on the edge of the box. He falls to the ground. It was a good tackle, but he wins the ball back from the ground. Now Martinez out onto the far right of Matteo Darmian. Darmian now with the cross with his right foot. Oh, and Reston McKennie tried to header it out. It hit his teammate, and I thought for a moment it might have been a handball. Referee says nothing, and instead Juve will try and go on the counter. Here's Kostic. Now Rabiot. And only for his shot to be blocked. It's going to be a corner. This has become such an interesting battle now. It really has become two-sided. What a tackle that was by Danilo on Marcus Thuram. It was a good block, but then they had to get up quickly because Brea was right behind it. Oh, it did hit the chest at the end. I think it was Lucatelli who could have been penalised for a handball, but it looked like it hit his chest. So another corner to come for the visitors. It's Kostic behind this one. Doesn't have any players nearby for support this time. Boots it in with his left foot. Good header away by Thuram. Then to DeMarco with the second ball. Loses it. And Juve have got it back on the centre circle. Now a long ball out far and wide to the left. And they just couldn't get anything going with that attack there. And Inter Milan will try and go for it themselves. Instead, they'll probably just slow up the pace and play it between their defenders. It's with a Kirby. Enters the Juve half through the middle. Calhanoglu onto the right of Barea. Calhanoglu again. As I say, an important player this season for Inter. Inzaghi will be delighted that he's back from his suspension, as he didn't feature in the Fiorentina game last week, which they won by a goal to nil. Early Lautaro Martinez header that was. Now out to the right hand side of Darmian. Darmian linking up with Brea, now with Brea again. Oh, nice cheek ball in and a bicycle kick in, and it's a header. It's Marcus Thuram who scores. I've just heard the referee's whistle. I don't know if that's for offside. They carry on celebrating, and Marcus Thuram has converted it home. As I said, it has been a fantastic season for the French international, and he puts Inter ahead in this big important title race game. And it's Inter Milan that draw first blood, and it started off with Barea. Lovely chip in, which I think he was trying to pick out, trying to figure out who that was. It looks like he was looking for Pavard. Yeah, it was Pavard who tried to go for the bicycle kick. He doesn't get anything, gets no contact, but Marcus Thuram got there and then poked it home with his head. Past Szczęsny. And we have our first goal of the game. Inter Milan 1, Juventus 0. Well, it looks as though we're going to have a delay in kickoff, because as always, VAR has something to say about it. I don't really see what there would be after watching the replay, unless it was offside, but Thuram looked like he was on. They're still checking for the goal, and I think the referee's happy. Yep. And that is the referee of Maresca. No, I thought he... Oh, no, it's going to be... What's happening here? Oh, no, he's changing the ball. I thought for a moment he was going to go for a VAR check, but despite those footballs being worth over 100 quid each, I don't know... Oh, hang on. They've just put that ball in the bag. Is that meant... Are they trying to, like, cherish the ball? As in, that's the ball that Marcus Thuram scored to win the game potentially. They put it away in a bag and put a new one on. But the game has resumed. So that, if I didn't make it clear, that goal has been allowed. Inter Milan leading by a goal to nil, and it's just got louder in here. The airwaves in the San Siro. And this is what will get Juve a little bit nervous and a little bit scared, because they know mentally this is going to be a tough evening now. They have to get a goal. They have to come out and play. But Marcus Thuram, that was his 9th league goal of the season. And he has been brilliant for Inter Milan. A free transfer as well. And in a way, from the transfer window, it just kind of came out of nowhere, that signing. It's not like it was a player everyone was talking about. But Inter Milan did very well to go in and grab him before anybody else was interested. Just over 5 minutes to go. But Juventus have had a good game so far. They just haven't really made Jan Sommer make any saves or earn his book. And I think Allegri knows that they just need to be a bit more active in that 18-yard box. They have the ball at the moment. They enter the Inter Milan half on the right-hand side. Every single player in that Inter half at the moment for both teams. Now with Rabiot. To Locatelli. Now to McKennie, who I think has had a terrific game for Juventus. I've been quite a critical commentator on McKennie in the past, but tonight he's been showing his pace, and he certainly has tried to make things work up front. Szczęsny boots it out to the far side. And instead, Inter Milan, oh wow, luckily for Juve, Inter Milan picked up the ball from 20 yards, and Juventus' back line looked a bit disorganised, and here they are again with Marcus Thuram. He's got Martinez in support, but he's too far away maybe. Thuram falls to the ground, and Juventus comfortably intercept. Oh, Andrew Pollard's just confirmed it with us. So, goal scoring balls are being kept and auctioned for charity, hence why they bagged the ball up after the goal. I know, that's in all fairness, that's fantastic. That's fantastic to see. It looks as though Chelsea women have scored again. 3-0 they lead now after 82 minutes in the late kickoff in the Women's Super League against Everton. Chelsea, final season under Emma Hayes. She'll be wanting to leave the club this summer on a high. She certainly loves the Women's Super League. She's won many of them. You can never have too many in terms of titles. Now here come Inter Milan again. It's on the far side. DiMarco with Barea. DiMarco tried to get the second pass back when he came in for the run onto the left-hand side of the 18-yard box, but instead it was cleared away. And now it's back in the Inter half between their two defenders of Kirby and Pavard. I can't get over the Pavard bicycle kick though. He had no contact with the ball, and you'd think he probably set up Marcus Thuram's goal. No, does a bicycle kick and that did nothing. Anyway, here come Juve. Oh, and instead they've just not been able to get Vlahovic going yet. Trying to get a long through ball to DiMarco. DiMarco's pace, it is unbelievable to watch. He must be an absolute nightmare for any defender. Just does so well to pick up those runs. Now here they come, Juve. They know they need to get a goal. They'd love to get on before half-time. Rabiot out wide to Kostic on the left. And the cross is no good. It's come back out to the left with Danilo. The captain picks up a chip ball, tries to go on in his own with the run-up, but couldn't get there. Only for the ball to get kicked and headed away. Marcus Thuram with great pressure on Bremer. Inzaghi picks up the ball on the near side. Inzaghi always looks stressed, but I guess most managers do. But I think you would be in an occasion like this against Allegri, one of the best managers in recent history of Serie. His brother, of course, is the manager of Torino these days. They got a goalless draw today. Joe says that West Ham versus Arsenal was funny earlier. I did miss the game. I actually don't know who won that. I'll have to have a look. It was West Ham, 2-1. Wow. Despite Russo scoring. But at the moment, as I said, Chelsea looking good. Man City, women beat Leicester City 2-0 today. They're looking good this season. Man United 2-0 against Brighton. Women's Super League this is. Aston Villa played at home yesterday against Bristol City. That ended 2-2. And Liverpool could only get a draw at home to Spurs. We're into the last minute of the first half. Find out shortly how much added time there'll be. I'm going to predict 2 minutes. I like to have a prediction when it comes to added time. Darmian then with the throw-in, and he'll throw it all the way back to his teammates in his own half, and then it's kicked back towards Jan Sommer. Again, as I say, Jan Sommer's not had much to worry about. He's got the most clean sheets in Serie A this season with 12. He's only conceded 10, both home and away. He's done brilliantly. And you'd think Inter Milan might have been struggling to replace Andre Onana, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Thuram now. Thuram and DiMarco clearly causing problems for Juve. Only 1 minute of added time. How wrong I was. The throw-in is taken. Onto the left-hand side. DiMarco. With Mkhitaryan now. Mkhitaryan started off the first half pretty lively, but he's all of a sudden gone quiet in the last 10 minutes or so. Now Matteo Darmian, they've switched sides, now onto the right. Not really sure what that link-up play was, because Inter were trying to go down the right, and it looked as though Barea was hoping Darmian would carry on with the attack alongside him, but that was not the case. We're into the final few seconds of this first half. Juve now on the attack to look for that equaliser. It's on the right wing. The cross comes in from McKennie, headed away by Pavard. Now Inter going on the counter. We've reached the first minute of added time. Referee looks like he's going to let them play on. Here's DeMarco now. Through to Thuram. Thuram will hold it up and will not go for that pass because the referee has blown the whistle for half time. So at the midway point, it is Inter Milan that take the lead. A goal from Marcus Thuram with his head that separates the two sides. Juventus still in this, of course. They've got another 45 minutes to come to try and save this game, but they know they've got to show up a little bit more in this second half. So at the halfway point then, it's Inter Milan 1, Juventus 0. And don't go anywhere, folks. We're going to take a quick break and then we'll be back for your second half commentary to find out who will win this Derby d'Italia. Or maybe it could be a draw. We'll find out very shortly. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Let's Talk Sports live stream watch along of Serie between Inter Milan and Juventus here at the San Siro. So both teams have had their team talks at half time. Already seen Allegri, the manager of Juventus, come back out onto the pitch. I also saw Marko Arnautovic, the Inter Milan substitute tonight, warming up. And so was Federico Chiesa, who is a player I personally quite admire a lot for Juve, and also for Italy, especially when he was part of that Euro 2020 winning squad who just kept scoring for them when they needed that goal. Absolutely brilliant player. And it does sound like a bit of a party going on at the San Siro. Inter Milan fans with the beat out music. It sounds like a club. Big clubhouse in Milan tonight. It'll certainly be like that if Inter could win this game and hold on to that lead. If you have just joined us, where have you been? It's currently 1-0 to Inter. I've just got to change my match clock, if I get that right. We're just getting ready for that second half to begin. I'll see if there's any substitutions that are going to be made. Currently half time just now. It's Real Madrid 1, Atletico Madrid 0 in the La Liga. Well, we're getting ready. Thuram on the pitch. The man who I thought scored the opening goal, but actually they've given, I checked at half time, the goal has been given as an own goal from Juventus' Gatti. And Federico Chiesa, knowing that he's having to go back on the sidelines and warm up in his bib, but I'm sure we might see him come on in the second half. Juventus needs some sort of spark going in the second half. We've just not seen enough from them on the front line. If they are to try and get something from this game, they've got to do a lot better. Just waiting for the referee to crack on with the game, and he does so, and he blows the whistle. So what a big second half we have got coming up. And it'll be Juve attacking from left to right this time, Inter from right to left. If you just joined us, Inter Milan playing in their home colours, their famous black and blue shirt with black shorts, black socks. Juventus in their white and black strip with white shorts, white socks. No changes from either bench from that half-time break. Plenty of options for both teams. Got at least, if I could do my counter very quickly, both teams have got 10 players each on the bench at least. I think there's one extra for Inter Milan, but the options are there for Juve if they're going to need help. They've got Timothy Weah, of course. They've also got Illing Jr., the England international, the young kid who's so far been quite an interesting impact at Juve. Scored just before Christmas, his first and only goal for Juve so far. He is a forward, and look what we saw the other night with Kobe Mino, who scored, who's meant to be a defensive mid, score an absolute fantastic individual goal late on in a game with a man with not much experience. Made it look like he's been playing for ages, longer than you may think. So, Inter Milan then. So far, it's on the far side, on the halfway line. Darmian. And he rolls it back to a Kirby. And then they switch sides. It's now to the left with Bastoni. Bastoni, good link-up play with DeMarco. Now Bastoni, who's got space for that ball, but instead the pass was just a little too long from DeMarco, and Danilo cleans up and boots it out for a throw-in, I think. Just a little too far for Bastoni to complete the pass again. DeMarco with a heavy touch there. Bastoni slapping the ground in frustration, thinking maybe if he was a bit quicker he might have got to it, but here he is now. He's got a throw-in to take. And here we go then, he makes a long throw and it enters the 6-yard box, only to be cleared away, and the referee has penalised Inter there towards a Kirby, and it'll be a free kick for the visitors. Looked like it was a handball. Cambiasso not to be linked with Esteban Cambiasso, a former Inter Milan player. This is Cambiasso, a different player who plays for Juventus. And he is 23, Italian. I must admit, I always hoped that he might have been linked to Esteban, but that is not the case. Second most assists in the team with 3 assists, and is currently on loan from Bologna. Sorry, he was on loan at Bologna last season. That was it. Panathinaikos 2, Olympiakos 0. That's what it's finished in the Greek Super League. My uncle's a Panathinaikos fan. He'll be disappointed. No, he'll be happy they won. What am I saying? I can't read. There was a foul there, maybe, against Inter Milan, but referee happy for them to continue. And then McKennie's limping away from the incident. Who, as I said in the first half commentary, I think he's been terrific so far for Juventus, but looks like we're going to have to delay play here. Lautaro Martinez, the captain of Inter Milan, is on the ground. And just as I say that, I thought maybe the delay could be a while, but he's just got himself back up on his feet and play has resumed. He's currently in the Inter half on the near side. Now to Kirby on to Pavard. Pavard, no real options as he had 2 Juve players in front of him, and his only option was to just play it back to Kirby. Now with Pavard again, it's in the centre circle, looking to his right, plays it through, but it's just too far, because Kostic will be very delighted to just see that ball roll out for his teammate's goal kick of Szczęsny. And actually, I think Szczęsny will leave it for Danilo to take the kick instead. Danilo short pass back to Szczęsny in his 6-yard box, boots it down the middle, it lands on the halfway line. Juve now pushing it forward, it's on the left-hand side. There's about 4 Juve players hanging around the edge of this 18-yard box. Instead, they'll roll the ball a few yards back. Now on the left-hand side, swung in, and it's DeMarco with a good clearance there on the edge of the 6-yard box. Again, now it's out onto the right-hand side. Juventus continue the attack. Now was Rabiot tripped there. I think the referee has, yes he has, he's given a yellow card. And that is a free kick for Juve. And the confirmation, Henrik Mkhitaryan with the yellow card. And just watching the replay, just missed the ball. It was a good poke through from Rabiot. Maybe he was planning it, maybe expected Henrik. Henrik disagreed, but I think if he watched it back, if he was in court against that, I think he'd be the one guilty. It was pretty obvious. Remember to get in touch on our live chat page, folks. Who do you think's going to win? Big moment for Juve, this. They've got to make the most out of these set pieces. This is a golden opportunity. DeMarco forming a one-man wall just in front of the 18-yard box. So this ball's out on the far right-hand side at the moment. Kostic will take this free kick with his left boot, I'd have thought. They're all lined up in the penalty area. Well, the free kick was taken, but I think the referee has, well, he's paused and he's holding his whistle up in the air. I'm not sure what's happened. The linesman, I think the linesman was not happy with where the ball was, and because of that, I think the referee's is he gonna give out a yellow? No, for time wasting. Well, he's coming all the way back down to spray around the ball to mark where the ball should be and not go further or go closer to the goal. So Kostic will take it again. Been a bit of a delay, this free kick. Here it comes. And after all that, It finds no one and goes behind for a Inter Milan goal kick. You can see what he was trying to do though. It was a deep ball, tried to get it across the face of goal, but it was just too high up and too far for any of his teammates to get to the end of. Full time between Chelsea women and Everton women, 3-0 Chelsea win there. Looks like, from judging by the scoreline, it's been a easy, normal day for Chelsea women. Now Rabiot on the left wing. Juventus looking for that equaliser. Low ball cross, only to be booted out. Now onto the halfway line it is. Marcus Thuram putting some pressure on the back line, but Juve keep the possession. Now with McKennie. Onto Vlahovic. And instead he loses that ball. Inter Milan with a great through ball down the middle. And they get to the midway point of the Juve half, and I look like a late challenge there. The referee instead just says play on because Juve can play with the advantage, and they have done. Just 10 yards into the Inter half on the right hand side. Now it's far wide to what looks to be Cambiasso. Now McKennie onto Cambiasso again, and they'll play it on to Gatti, who, when I checked at half time, is the man that is with the own goal. It wasn't a Marcus Thuram goal. He's got 3 goals this season, Gatti, but sadly that one won't count. Now McKennie on the right hand side, short pass out to his left hand side of the Catelli, and I'm not really sure what that was, as Danielo's shot, unless it was meant to be a pass, I have no idea. He'll say it was meant to be a pass, but the shot instead went and hit row Z up in the stands. Goal kick for Inter. It's taken quickly by Jan Sommer, and now here they come now, Inter with a quick attack on the right hand side with Darmian. Now Barella. Oh, now DeMarco's got space, he'll go for it with his left foot. Oh, and it's gone wide as it rolls past the back post. And DeMarco knows that was a good opportunity. There was a lot of space for him at the end there, with Barea making a great pass. It was a good thing that Toro Martinez actually made a dummy run, because originally it looked like it was going to go to him, and Zanetti in the stand there looking nice and warm with his big coat, hoping that Inter might have secured the game there. The next goal is so crucial. There's been 10 attempts for Inter, just the 3 for Juve. But DeMarco's been brilliant in this game with his runs in behind the defence. His finishing, however, not at his best yet. He might get another chance later on, we shall see. Cross comes in again for Inter from the right-hand side. This time it's dealt with by Danilo. Darmian will walk up to take the throw-in. Inzaghi, as always, shouting his instructions. Darmian just wiping the ball there, the yellow ball with his shirt. And you know it's winter time when the ball is yellow. Temperatures around the same in Milan today than it is in the northwest of England, and there's a volley. Oh, it's hit the post. And it looked like it was a Kirby with the chance. No, it was Karl Haneglu at the end. It hit the outside of the post. It was a half-headed clearance from Juve. Went back to Karl Haneglu, and he just went with his right foot on the volley, or it might have been half volley. I think it was a half volley, and it hit the outside post, and it's gone for a goal kick, but just inches away from going 2-0 ahead, and they're going to just keep coming into at this moment in time. Taking charge, Barea. Now through, and this should be 2-0, maybe. No, good defending for Juve. Oh, it was very, very close. I'm not sure which Inter player was at the end there, but he was right in front of goal, but just couldn't get his full backing behind it to then try and hit it home. It's gone back into the Inter half, 57 minutes gone. Inter Milan 1, Juventus 0. Remember, whoever wins goes, either stays or goes top of the tree. Inter Milan a point ahead of Juve, but as it stands, they will go 4 points clear if the scoreline stays like this or the outcome. And they've also got a game in hand over Juventus. Right, here come Inter again. That is a great outside football out onto the right-hand side. Barea, Thuram couldn't get the second ball, and Juve will clear it again. But they've got to get something going, Juve. They are literally in the middle of a desert, being kicked around right now. And this time they will get some breathing space, because that was a poor attempted pass far out wide. And it's gone out for a goal kick for Juve. I'm just watching the replay. It was the time Martinez who was there, who picked up the pass from Mkhitaryan, and then Pavard. Brilliant work to get it right in front of goal, but Martinez didn't quite get the script there, it looked like. Goal kick taken. We've had a question from Andrew Pollard. It's going to take me all of this game to figure out what are my favourites. But just as I talk about that, Vlahovic has had his shirt pulled and he's been dragged down by a Kirby, and he's won his team a free kick, and it's taken out onto the left-hand side, and instead the pressure's getting to them for them to play it back into their own half. Just about to reach the hour mark. Still got over half an hour to go to either defend that lead or extend it, while Juve looking to get themselves back in this game. Here comes the cross, and it's out onto the left-hand side, and a shot in on Vlahovic, just couldn't quite get there. It was just behind him again. Just not happened for him tonight. Al Marcus Thuram trying to go for the long ball on the counter, and instead Juve will intercept. But all of a sudden, just two big moments there. Both teams getting so close to scoring in the second half, it just haven't seen it yet. I will answer your question in a minute, Andrew, when I get the chance. Now Martinez chips it up in the air, lofts it in the air. Out onto the right side. Now they're looking for Thuram. Oh, Danilo couldn't get there. And Thuram, and he couldn't pick up DeMarco. Why didn't he go for it on his own? I think that's what the fans are asking at the San Siro. Thuram, with the form he's been on, you'd think he'd go for it. But it just didn't happen. He thought DeMarco would be a better option. And as we mentioned, DeMarco, he does well to intercept, but he got caught late, I think, and he's gone down to the ground. He's got his hands on his left foot. He looks injured. Referee seems happy for them to play on. Juve win the ball back. And I think DeMarco's still down. And I think it looks as though Juve will make a change when we next pause the game. Meanwhile, here come Juve with Rabiot, Cambiasso, McKennie with the cross. Finds no one. It's on the left-hand side. It's still a Juve attack here. Oh, and any touch from Vlahovic. I don't think he got the touch. They're making calls at the ref that it's gone for a corner. Referee seems to be talking into his earpiece by looking at his body language, but at the end there was a cross in, and Vlahovic, I think it was, just couldn't get the conversion that he wanted. But then, I say, moments later, they all go up to the ref asking for, I'm not sure if they were asking for a corner or something, or maybe a decision to be looked at from earlier on, I'm not sure. But what a mad few moments we've had in this game. Both sides looking like they're going to score, but it's always that last-ditch moment that they can't seem to get right. So it is going to be a corner for Juventus after all that. Substitution I don't think has been made. It looks like it hasn't. Yildiz will take this corner. Yildiz, well, he's only 18 from Turkey. The midfielder has got one goal so far in 12 games. His corner delivered. Oh, and a bicycle kick effort from Vlahovic, goes over the crossbar. It was a header down back to Vlahovic, and he just couldn't get it under the crossbar. It's a great header down by Bremer. He does brilliantly well to beat his man in the air. and to set up his Serbian forward. Anyway, back as the game has resumed. Here's Marcus Thuram now. Can he keep it in play on the left-hand side? He does so. And he's got a bit of space around him. No Juve players putting pressure on him. Plays the pass across a face of goal, and it doesn't find anyone in black and blue. Oh, and that was poor. That was absolutely poor from Gatti. He gives the ball away. Now Calhanoglu! Oh, curved it just over the crossbar from outside the box. It was a shot from his right foot. It was a good effort. And he was, well, it looked as though it was Cambiasso who gave the ball away at the end. And he nearly got punished there by Calhanoglu. Calhanoglu with 9 goals this season in 20 appearances. He'll be 30 on Thursday. There's quite a few birthdays this week at Inter Milan. I think it's fair to say the social media team of Inter Milan with their typical birthday posts will be busy on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, MySpace, you know, Bebo, you name it. Yeah, I don't know if those things still exist. But meanwhile, Inter Milan have the ball in their half, and they're just thinking of just going for that fast-paced counter-attacking football again, which has been superb to watch. Now here's DeMarco on the far left. Inzaghi's shouting instructions and when he runs past him, and the cross is punched away by Szczesny. Oh, and an open goal miss. And an open goal miss. I'll say he was quite far out, but Szczesny stayed on the ground because, and he still is, he looks to be injured here. He might have collided, and he did. I think it was with Lautaro Martinez. DeMarco with the cross. No, it's Mkhitaryan that got in his way. It was an accident, of course, but what a moment that was. DeMarco, great cross. Just Mkhitaryan not fast enough to get there before Szczesny. Now here we go, substitutions being made. It looks as though it's a double substitution for the visitors. And it does involve Federico Chiesa. And I think they do need him in the game. He's a breath of fresh air to watch every time. So Chiesa is coming off for Yildiz. And Timothy Weah is coming off for Kostic. Interesting how this will form. Timothy Weah, what a player, what a player his dad was. George Weah, Ballon d'Or winner back in 1995, and was playing for the other half of Milan, of AC Milan. So I'm surprised maybe Timothy Weah didn't get any boos. Maybe we might hear that later on from the older groups of Inter Milan fans, maybe, who may remember how good he was in red and black back in the 90s, when Italian football was probably the best in the world in terms of league competition and quality. We'll answer Andrew Pollard's question when I can. It's he didn't give me one question, he gave me 3. He asked me favourite Inter Milan player, favourite Juventus player and Italian player. Meanwhile, here come Juve again on the left-hand side. It has become end-to-end stuff, this title contending game. It's just been brilliant. Now Timothy Weah, brilliant run, keeps the ball with his feet, and a shot just wide. And it looked like it was Gatti. It was the man who scored the own goal to give into the lead. Nearly put his team back in this game. Just went wide. He went for his right foot. Oh, just watching the replay back, it was inches from the post. Jan Sommer, I think he was left for dead. He hardly moved when he saw that ball come across him. And Inter fans in slow-mo watching them again in replay. Oh, they were nervous. They thought Juve had found a goal back. Now imagine if Juve do score with over 20 minutes to go. I did go to a Inter Milan Juventus game back in April time at the San Siro, but this was in Coppa Italia, and this was a second leg semi-final game which Inter Milan won and ended up going to the final. Can't remember who scored that night, but it was just a 1-0 game, but it was brilliant atmosphere, and Juve certainly came out in their numbers. Brilliant experience. If you ever do get the chance, do go to Italy, do have a weekend out at least to check out some Serie A football. Tickets ain't too bad either, the prices are not so bad whatsoever. In terms of favourite Inter player, Andrew, I'll try and give you one of them right now. It's either Wesley Sneijder or Esteban Cambiasso. I can't decide. I think it's got to be Wesley Sneijder for me. Absolutely brilliant player in 2010. And the other seasons he was there, but 2010 especially. An argument if he should have won the Ballon d'Or. Here we go then. Brea for Inter as we talk about them. DeMarco just inside the box. Good cross to Brea. What a save by Szczesny. He volleyed it at the goal, and Szczesny had his limbs out here, there, everywhere, and made sure it stayed out to keep it at 1-0. Szczesny, a former Arsenal goalkeeper, a man who some didn't rate him that much in England, but I must say I think he is a fantastic goalkeeper when you need him. Here they come now, Juve, as they now have a go at the attack. It's become a basketball game. There's both teams going at each other's nets. And now Rabiot goes for a shot from outside the box. Gets blocked by Darmian. Now Thuram tries to go for the run, and he does brilliantly. He gets past one man. He's on his own up there. He might just do it on his own. He falls to the ground. Referee, is that a penalty? He says no. Referee was happy to leave it as that. Well, was it a penalty? I don't think there was enough in that. And to be honest with you, you rarely see them given. A bit of a shove from Danilo, but Thuram probably fell down quite easily. But yes, Esteban Cambiasso, no, Esteban, what was I saying? Wesley Sneijder for Inter. Juventus is definitely not Paul Pogba. I'm not sure. I'll have to have a think for you, but that's a tough. You know what? It's got to be Zinedine Zidane, hasn't it? That's what I'm thinking. Meanwhile, it's on the right-hand side for Juve. They're on the attack this time. Ball headed away. Now it's far wide again. Timothy Weah up against DeMarco. Plays an inside pass to Rabiot. Rabiot tries to go for a shot. It was blocked by Henrik Mkhitaryan. Ball comes back to the halfway line. Now with Timothy Weah again, who picks up a flick pass from Rabiot. Now Rabiot on the right wing in front of Allegri. Allegri, a man who has won many, many Serie A titles as Juve manager. He'd love to win another one. He won 5 Serie A titles with Juve. Trying to go for a 6. DeMarco couldn't pick out Thuram. And Juve let it go. And they'll push it forward now. Kaiser, we haven't seen him yet. He's only come in the last few minutes. Look at the pace. Look at the control. It's brilliant. He tries to get a cross in maybe. Up against Pavard, nothing from that. And Jan Sommer will say thank you very much. Juventus is a hard one in terms of favourite player. Actually, that's a great debate for the live chat page. For any of you at home, do share who you have as your favourite Inter Milan player, Juventus player and Italian player. Italian player is another one. That's another tricky one, Andy. That's a tough group to go for. I really like Federico Chiesa. I think he's a terrific player. I really do like him, but is he my favourite? I'm not sure. You know what? I think it's an obvious one. But I think I have got to go through Kaká. He's an adopted Italian. He was in Italy all of his life, pretty much. Apart from those few years at Real Madrid. Oh, it's a tough one. Anyway, there's a substitution being made. Looks like there's going to be multiple substitutions for the hosts. DeMarco is going off, which has surprised me. DeMarco going off for Carlos Augusto. And Denzel Dumfries is coming on. I completely missed who he's come on for. just watching the Berea volley again. What a save by Sergio. He was going in, he had to save it. And he did just that to keep this game alive for Juventus. Remember, as it stands, Inter Milan will go 4 points clear if they win with a game in hand over the old ladies. Juve, they've got 17 minutes to try and get at least a draw here. I don't think they'd say no to a point at the San Siro when you look at Inter's form this season. They've only lost once this season at home. Timothy Weir tries to go on his own with a cross, but instead it's blocked. It didn't even make the cross at the end. Now Marcus Thuram, and he falls to the ground. Was he tripped? The referee, he certainly doesn't. Great, Marcus Thuram falls to the ground. That's twice he's said to him he's diving. Surprised the referee has not actually booked him, if that is the case, because you know, if you dive, they think you've dived, then it's normally a yellow card or seen as a foul. Long ball out to the right hand side as they switch the play, Juventus, only to then go back into their own half as always. Marcus Thuram, even at this point in the game, he still has that pace to pressurise his opponents in the back line. But I'd love to hear yours, Andrew Pollard. What are your favourite Inter Milan, Juve and Italy players? I just think for Italy, it's hard. It is hard. Andrea Pirlo, I feel like it's an obvious one, but he was brilliant. Buffon's another, just for his loyalty. Chiellini, that's another one. I like Bonucci because he liked to be seen as the villain, and he was a good player. Important player in the Euros when they won it as well. Back with this game. I do like DeMarco, as we've seen tonight. He's a brilliant player. It's a tough one. But if I was going to go for adopted Italians, it's Kaká. So, 15 minutes exactly to go. And then, of course, a bit of stoppage time. Inter Milan at the moment are going to be having a big gap. Well, I say big gap. They'll have a gap. They'll have some breathing space over Juve at the top of the tree. Juve now going on the attack. Instead, they're going to just hold the ball for a moment. And it's still that, they're still saying it was Gatti with the own goal. I could have sworn Marcus Thuram got the last touch when I saw it, especially on the replay. But at the moment, Inzaghi is going to get a win over Allegri in the head-to-head between them. Inzaghi actually leads by 4 wins to 2, in case you were wondering. And it could be 5 games to 2 if Marcus Thuram and Inter here seal the deal. Marcus Thuram, I think he was trying to play a pass across the face of goal, only for it to be deflected and gone behind for a corner to our hosts tonight. He was being chased down by Danilo. So corner to come, and I think, I don't know what's happening, the referee's having words with Marcus Thuram. And actually his dad's watching in the stands tonight, Marcus Thuram. Now, I think I've missed something here, because Marcus Thuram, oh no, it looks like he's got a yellow card. Oh right, so he's delayed the substitution, so he was going to come off. And it looks as though Marko Arnautovic is going to come on, who we saw warming up at half-time. Marko Arnautovic, he's only got 1 goal this season, so he needs to prove himself, you could say, but of course he doesn't mainly start for Inzaghi. So corner to come from the far side for the hosts. Couldn't get past the first man. It's headed away, only for Berea to get the possession back for Inter. And another cross, this time it's really poor. Too high, too far. Goal kick. Marcus Thuram gets his coat on, gets a hug from Inzaghi. And some man handshakes from his teammates on the bench. I want to watch that replay again. I'm sure he scored. Andrew Pollard is saying Inter player's got to be Baggio, favourite Juve player, Baggio. The favourite Italian player is Baggio. Didn't know he had so many brothers. Well, we got a throw in, and I was checking this earlier, but Juve, when they score, they do. It looks as though they mostly concede between the 81st and the 90th minute. While Inter normally concede mostly between the 51st and the 60th minute, and also the 61st and the 70th minute. So in terms of previous stats so far this season, it's not going Juventus' way, but again, that's in the past. McKennie's won a throw-in for Juventus just inside the Inter half on the near side. Looks as though, I think Inzaghi got a yellow card, I'm not sure. There's been a booking given from watching a replay. Ball's currently on the centre circle. Juve were hoping to get a free kick. They were appealing, but referee says play on. Juve on the attack now on the left-hand side. Cross comes in, it's too far for Vlahovic again. He's just not had the set-up tonight. McKennie blocks the pass from Bastoni, and Bastoni just roars at his home supporters. I think that was a goal kick, but McKennie just, despite his performance tonight, not been rewarded yet. At half-time, it's Sporting Braga 1, Moreirense 0 in the Portuguese leagues. Still 1-0 between Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. And still 1-0 to Lyon against Marseille in Ligue 1, so a bit of European football happening everywhere tonight. We're just waiting for this goal kick from Jan Sommer for Inter. Boots it up in the air and it enters the Juve half on the right hand side. Barea, oh, did he get tripped down there? Referee says play on, and it is Juve, sorry, it is Inter that still have it, and they do win a free kick. Marko Arnautovic with his first involvement of the game, he wins the set piece for his team. He gets pushed from behind there of Lucatelli. Arnautovic, as I say, only got the one goal for Inter this season, but he has been able to make 14 appearances. He's currently on loan from Bologna, and I didn't know this, but he was on loan at Inter in 2009 from FC Twente, 15 years ago. Still 34. He's obviously a former West Ham player, as we know. Free kick comes in then, only to be headed out again, and it will go all the way back into the Inter half as the Juve players come back out. Less than 10 minutes to go. Big moment, big last few minutes to come in this title race for the Scudetto. It's on the far side right now, inside the Juve half. Inter might already be starting to maybe try and kill a few seconds. They've taken Marcus Thuram off at DeMarco, where you feel as though that spark might have gone now for them to try and go for a second goal. Colonel Hannibal Smith has got involved in the debate of who's your favourite Inter player, Juve player and Italy player. He's gone with Ronaldo for Inter. Oh, what a shout. I completely forgot for a moment about R9. How could I forget? We'll have to go back to that because Inter Milan are on the attack. And there's a foul, is there? No, Mkhitaryan went down to the ground. Yet again, the referee likes his physicality. It's been good refereeing. He likes to see the game have some flow. It's been good. Mkhitaryan is back up and he's got the ball again. Now Arnautovic out to the right-hand side from Denzel Dumfries. We haven't seen much of him since he's come on, but there he is with a cross that was not great at the end. Didn't find anyone. Kaiser saying it's a throw into Juve. Last touch coming off Benjamin Pavard. Now here come Juve. Four of them are going up front. Great interception. Trying to play it out onto the far left-hand side, Juve, but it was well read by Benjamin Pavard. Pavard, a bit of a hit and miss for some people. You don't know if he's a defender or an attacker. We all remember his incredible goal against Argentina back at the 2018 World Cup. That would help them overcome Lionel Messi's team and also get them to that final before they'd go and win it and pick up France's second ever World Cup victory by beating Croatia. It's going to be a throw for Juventus. Well, actually, I say that, referee disagrees with me. He's pointing towards Inter's way, which is signalling a throw-in for Inter Milan. They're nearly there, Inter. They are nearly there. Carlos Augusto. With the throw-in, it's long. Just in front of the 6-yard box. It's now out onto the right-hand side. Dumfries. Of course, fresh pair of legs. There'll be some pace in him in these last few minutes if needed. Oh, did the ball go out of play? Referee says no. Linesman was near it and the cross comes in. And Szczęsny comes out to pick it up. No one attacking that ball. So an easy save for the Polish goalkeeper. But yeah, Colonel John Hannibal Smith says Juve it's Zidane and Italy it's Maldini. Paolo Maldini was a cracking player. I still think it's a shame that he never won a World Cup. Wasn't part of the Italy team in 2006. Never got that World Cup medal. Would have been some achievement. We all know he's world class. We all know he was the best, but just a World Cup medal cements it for the history books, that's for sure. Looks like there will be another change for Juventus. They'll have at least one more substitution. They've only made 2 so far, with Kaiser and Timothy Weir. Juventus have only lost once away from home this season. They need to try and avoid that second defeat coming. One fact I found interesting was no points conceded away this season. So not points, sorry, penalties, what am I saying? They've been able to get 26 points out of a possible 33 so far. Here they come now, Juventus, on the right-hand side. Weston McKennie on the right wing. He's got support. It's with Lucatelli. Now into the middle, just about 20 yards from goal. Kaiser with the run-up on the left-hand side. Takes a deflection, it still comes into the box. Inter's defence deal with it by just clearing it out, but it's now back on the left wing with Juventus. They do win a throw-in. Rabiot takes it quickly. He takes on the role of taking the throw instead of waiting and killing time, because they know the time is against them right now. 4 minutes to go till he reaches the 90 in this race for the Scudetto. Ball comes in again, headed away, only half cleared, and then it's headed again out of the penalty area from Inter's defence. He'll come back, but there's no one there, and Jan Sommer will just put it on the floor, pick it up right in front of Vlahovic and rub it in. That he's been able to kill a few seconds because of that. But they've kept Vlahovic quiet tonight. We've just not seen it from him, sadly. It looks as though there's going to be 2 changes coming each for Inter and Juventus in the dying minutes here. Oh, now that's a great pass out to the right-hand side. Dumfries, that should be it! Oh, what a save! It's Szczęsny with the save on Nautovic. We all thought he was going to put the game to bed. Inter had everything spot on to make it 2-0. Denzel Dumfries with a fantastic low ball cross. Arnautovic then gets his left foot out, and it's straight at Szczęsny. I'll tell you what, Szczęsny should get man of the match if they can somehow get a point here. It's a brilliant save. The Inter fans couldn't believe it. They honestly thought that was it, dead and buried, and the 3 points were going to them. They may still get it, but they're still going to have to watch on nervously and bite their nails up until the end. So Moretti has come on to replace Cambiasso, and Alexandro has replaced Gatti. Inter have made some changes as well. It looks as though David Klazan is going to come on, and so is De Vrij. So Klazan's coming on for Berea, and De Vrij's coming on for Bastoni. So David Klazan, a player that they signed last summer from Ajax. Quite the experience under his belt, playing for Ajax for a couple of spells and also Everton. So corner to come from Inter, it's going to be taken on the near side, and it goes across the face of goal. Szczesny punches it away, and Inter, they head it back, and they had to be careful because Kaiser was chasing it down, but Inter with their three-man defence have been able to control it. It's gone back to Jan Sommer in the 18-yard box, and we've got exactly 1 minute to go. Juve have to do it now if they're going to save a point. Do they really want to have Inter Milan starting to run away with the title race? Alcaraz is about to come on. This, I think, is Juve's last change of the game. Reston McKennie comes off, who I think, I'd give him a 7 out of 10. I think he's played brilliant tonight. McKennie, Allegri gives him a hug. He deserves a bit of praise. He's tried to make things work up front. Didn't get rewarded with a goal or any set-up play for a goal. Less than 30 seconds to go. Inter Milan 1, Juventus 0. Remember, this is the last time these two sides meet for the season in the league. So Juventus will have to rely on other teams and results if they are to come back into this title race. If it stays like this, their goal kick's taken, it's on the halfway line. Denzel Dumfries just boots it up in the air to try and maybe pick out Arnautovic, who he did before, but Arnautovic didn't do his part and didn't get this goal to put the game to bed. 5 minutes of added time, only 5 minutes, which these days in modern day football we're used to seeing 8 or 9, especially in the Africa Cup of Nations recently. Inter have won a free kick, that'll just give them more time to kill and maybe less chances for Juve to at least go back into the Inter half and go for that equaliser. Oh wow, Inter saying that there was a foul or a handball there. Marko Arnautovic having words with Danilo afterwards, despite not getting the decision he wanted from the referee of Fabio Maresca. 1 minute already gone in the added time. It's Lucatelli. Lucatelli to Timothy Weir. Not sure if his dad is watching tonight in the stands. We know that Marcus Thuram's dad is out here tonight. Now out down the line on the right hand side, brilliantly defended by a Kirby. He just decides to boot it out as far as he can to make Juve go back for it and come again. Rabiot with the throw, which looked like a foul throw to me. And some of the bench players of Inter took the throw in front of the dugout, but I don't think they were. I'm not sure what happened there, but maybe Rabiot took the ball off in a nasty way. I'm not sure. That does happen, but Rabiot hasn't got the time right now. He's got to focus on what's happening on the pitch. Meanwhile, Juve have just given away a free kick just inside the Inter half. It was a foul on Lautaro Martinez from Adrien Rabiot, who's probably getting a bit hot-headed at the moment. He pulls Martinez down to the ground, and Martinez, he's down on the ground putting his hand to his knee, but then also has one eye open to just make sure that his Oscar-winning performance of diving is working. I mean, he got the call, he got the decision, he fooled the ref, that's for sure. It was no doubt a foul, but it's just the way some players make it look like they've been shot. Now Juve, halfway through this 5 minutes of added time, they've got to do something now. It's Timothy Weah, picks up the pass from Kaiser. Oh, he couldn't pick out the right pass. Now Rabiot had to run a few yards back to just keep the flow going. It's now switched sides to the left-hand side. The cross comes in, looking for Weir. He couldn't get there. Now with Kaiser, and his cross is blocked and deflected in behind for a corner. Last touch coming off Mkhitaryan. Kaiser, well, he wants to take the corner, but the linesman has just stood in front of the ball. Just have to wait a moment or two here. Could this be the last chance of the game for Juventus to get something? The cross comes in, it goes across the face of goal. No threat up in the air, it's booted out again by Inter. That's what they're going to just keep doing now. And it's gone out for a throw-in in the Juve half. And you can just tell, you can hear the noise at the San Siro. They're just slowly starting to make some noise. But they're booing as well at the Juve players for delaying the throw-in and killing time. But it's not them that need the goal into, it's Juve. Now with Szczęsny, boots it down the middle, lands on the halfway line. Sorry, not on the halfway line, the midway point of the Inter half. Nothing from Inter there to just keep the possession. Juve might just have one more go. No, we tried to switch sides by playing a long ball out to the right. Timothy Weir's had to pick up the loose ball. Rabiot in the middle of the park. Plays it back to Danilo. Now Lucatelli. Lyon have just beaten Marseille by a goal to nil. Kaiser falls to the ground. Ball comes across again. It's a poor delivery. Inter will just let it roll out with 20 seconds to go. Throwing for Inter. Deep in their own half. Kaiser clearly frustrated. And the Inter fans again making more noise. Klazan asking for the ref. Saying to the ref, it should be over now, surely, once we take the throw in. Referee's in charge, not you, David Klazan. Well, he's listened to David Klazan. And the referee has blown for full time. And it is Inter Milan who have won the game. And you could say maybe have one hand on the trophy for the Scudetto. Ended 1-0. They now go 4 points clear against Juventus. And Juve also have the problem with Inter having a game in hand. And it's thanks to Juventus's Gatti, who scored the own goal in the first half on the 37th minute to give Inter Milan the win. So after the head-to-head of this season, Inter win the second game after they drew 1-1 back in November. But that just shows it's another win for Inter, their 18th win of the season in Serie A. Not in all competitions, just in Serie A. They go up at the top still. They'll be now on 57 points. Juventus, it's their second defeat of the season, and they will stay on 53 points, and now will be 4 points behind, as we've already said. But Inter Milan, they get the win. Let us know what you think at home, folks. It's been a cracking game. But at the end, it was Inter Milan that got there at the end. And from our poll, we did ask who will win, and it was Inter Milan that actually got the win in our poll. So well done to you. I'm going to end the poll just there. Inter Milan at 66%, Juve at 22%, and 11% of you going for a draw. So thanks for voting. Thanks for getting in touch on the live chat page. We'll stay on for a minute or two until we wrap up, but I'm just going to quickly check the stats from the game and just find out what the stats tell us. So, Inter Milan with their shots, they had 15. Juventus 12. Inter Milan 3 shots on target with Juve just getting the 1. The possession goes towards Inter Milan at 54%. Juventus having 46%. A lot more passes, not that many more passes from Inter Milan. 559 compared to Juventus's 493. Pass accuracy, both of them on the same percentage of 88%. And we saw 5 yellow cards in this version of the Derby d'Italia. 2 yellow cards for Inter, 3 for Juventus. No red cards, no offsides. And there were 10 corners at the end, 6 from Inter Milan and Juventus with the 4 corners. So, before we wrap up, who should get man of the match. Now, I think it's fair to say an Inter player should get it, but it's a tough one. I'm not sure who to give this one to. I think it might have to go for DeMarco. DeMarco was brilliant tonight. So many good runs in behind the box, creating all sorts of problems for the Juve defence, and you could say tiring them out, and he did just that. So I think for me, I'm going to go with DeMarco, unless there's anyone else I can think of. I'm not so sure, but for me tonight, it is DeMarco for me that gets the man of the match between Inter Milan and Juventus. But anyway, I think we're going to wrap up there. I'll just quickly check the Serie A table. And actually, just before you lot go as well, if you're wondering what's the next match for our top two teams of the league so far this season. So next Saturday, this Saturday that is, Inter Milan will be away at Stadio Olimpico to take on AS Roma. What a big game that'll be. That's next Saturday at 5 p.m. And then a week on Monday, that's when Juve, they have to wait a few days till they next play. They will be going back to Turin, and they'll be up against Udinese at 7:45 p.m. So those are the next matches coming up for those two teams. And I'll just quickly go through the table. So as mentioned, Inter Milan top of the league at 57 points, 53 points for Juventus. AC Milan are in third place, so they are 4 points behind Juve. AC Milan did get the win at the end yesterday. Atalanta in fourth place with 39, 10 points behind AC Milan. So you'd think that you've got your top three at least involving Inter, Juve, and AC Milan. Bologna, fifth at the moment, going for those European places. Only 3 points behind Atalanta. AS Roma, despite sacking Jose Mourinho at the halfway point of the season, it might prove to be a good call because they're in good form all of a sudden. And they are only a point behind Bologna in sixth place. Napoli as well got a win today, and they are level with Roma on 35 points in seventh. Fiorentina a point behind on 34 points in eighth place. Lazio as well on 34 points in ninth place. It's a hell of a table right now. Not just the race for the Scudetto, your European places as well is very interesting to watch. And then just before we leave, let's look at the relegation zone. So it's the bottom three teams that go down to Serie B at the end of the season. At the moment, it is Salernitana who are bottom with 13 points. They are 5 points behind Empoli in 19th, where they're on 18, and Verona in 18th with 18 points. So they're level with Empoli and Cagliari, who are in 17th in the safe zone, but only doing better because of the, I would have said goal difference, but the goal difference is worse than Verona. Huh. I'm not sure how that works, but okay. But yeah, Cagliari have a game in hand over Verona as well. And Udinese 16th with 19 points. Level with Sassuolo in 15th with 19 points. So this is the thing, folks. Keep an eye on Serie A between now and the end of the season. Not only is there a title race for Europe, and also a relegation battle to try and stay in the top tier of Italian football for another season. Anywho, before we are going to go, thank you very much for watching tonight for our live stream watch along of Inter Milan versus Juventus. It's been a while since we've done one of these, so thanks very much for you lot. If you're returning viewers or new viewers of the channel, if you haven't yet, just make sure you click that subscribe button and subscribe to Let's Talk Sport. And we'll be back very soon. Of course, the Africa Cup of Nations concludes later this week. We'll be trying to cover the final a week today. And of course, the semi-finals are during the week on Wednesday. So just make sure you subscribe. Keep an eye on the channel, and you'll find out when our future streams will be. And of course, we like to do some of our reaction shows, you could say, during the week when we can as well. So I think that's it. We're going to wrap up there. Thank you very much for watching. Do subscribe. And it is Inter Milan that have one hand on the Scudetto. Good night.